Good morning, and welcome to this episode of Coffee with Chuck. Today, I just wanted to visit about some of my travels over the last couple of weeks and also a really cool event I attended in Wichita. It was sponsored by the Wichita Regional Chamber of Commerce, and it featured the president and CEO of the Society for Human Resource Management, or SHRM, Johnny Taylor Jr. And Johnny Taylor has done a lot and is well known throughout the country and also serves on the JAG National Board of Directors. So that was really cool. But I wanted to talk a little bit about some of my student visits, program visits, and I&I ceremonies. I've had a blast. This year, it feels like normal, other than having to wear a mask in certain locations, but we've been able to go into classrooms, talk to students, and it's been great. I love hearing from you, having you tell me what you like about JAGK, and so far, and maybe you guys are just being kind, but no one has said they don't like something about JAGK, or I've asked for ways we can do things better, and you all have been really positive in describing the JAGK experience for you. And I do hear many of the same things from students, regardless of whether they're in large high schools or small rural high schools, that the JAGK family is really important, that you get a lot of extra support in this program, and you get to learn about skills that are practical and will help you be successful after you've graduated from high school. And certainly some of these skills are helping you now as you are entering the workforce while you're a student in high school and in middle school in some cases. So that's been really rewarding, but it's just great to get out and talk to students. We also had our Leadership Development Conference in Lawrence. That was a blast. It was awesome to see so many students in one room when we started in the auditorium. We heard from one of our board of director members, our JAGK board of directors, Kevin Like with ADM. They gave us $15,000 to help put on that event. And so that was awesome, getting people together. mentioned the Wichita Chamber event. Andrew Weens is a member of the JAG-K Board of Directors, and he works for the Wichita Regional Chamber of Commerce. He was kind enough to get me a seat at this event, and I'm going to show you this book. It's called Reset, and this is the most recent book written by Johnny Taylor. The subtitle is A Leader's Guide to Work in an Age of Upheaval. And there was some great information in this, not only for those who have been in the workforce for a while, are hiring people for the workforce, but there were some data points and some information he shared that would be important, I think, for young people just entering the workforce. And there were some interesting things that surprised me when we talk about what workers currently want. This may not be a surprise to you, but oftentimes when you get to be my age, we talk about the importance of benefits, and those are important. You shouldn't just look at your salary, but the fact is that's what a lot of people are looking at. They're not looking at the benefits, they're looking at the salary. So that doesn't necessarily mean that's a good thing, but it's reality right now. But that's one thing I would like to encourage those of you who are talking about careers or are getting ready to move on to the next step in your life is don't just look at the salary, because your benefits are worth a lot of money. And I'll just take my personal situation. I have a prescription drug that costs about $5,000 a month. But because we have really good insurance at JAG-K, I only end up paying about $30 a month for that prescription. So obviously that is worth thousands of dollars a year for me and my family. So don't just look at the benefits or at the money you get paid each month. Look at the other things that are involved. For example, we get life insurance, we get short-term and long-term disability at JAG-K. We have a very generous leave policy. So most people have at least 3 weeks of paid vacation. Actually, it's paid time off. That was another thing that Johnny Taylor said, is people just want leave. They don't want sick leave. They don't want vacation. Just give them leave. And that is something we do here at JAG-K. But the point of this is look at the entire package. What kind of retirement package are they offering? And even though you're young, retirement is really better when you start saving now. And even if it's just a very small amount that you can put away each month or each paycheck, do it, because it's going to add up. And if it's invested in the stock market, historically, and I'm not a financial planner, I'm not giving you financial advice, I can just recite facts. And the fact is the stock market has been, over time, a very sound investment. There's always risk. You can lose money. But if you're in it for the long term, generally speaking, you will see gains and increases investing that way. Point is, look for what your company may be offering in the way of benefits, and don't just fixate on the salary. Having said that, as an employer, we know that salary is important, and bonuses and other things like that. So there's a balance. But I did want to raise that. One of the other things Johnny Taylor said was there's not a whole lot of loyalty right now in the workforce. But as an employer, we still need to provide professional development and do all of those things to make people want to work here, even if they may change their minds in a couple of years. So as you are out looking for a potential employee, and right now this is a great time to be looking for a job because everyone is hiring. Any place you go, it seems there's a help wanted sign. So look at the culture of that that business or that organization? Do they value people? Do they value diversity? Are they including everyone? And there are certainly different types of inclusion. Um, don't expect if you're the cashier, don't expect to be invited to the corporate board meetings. That's an unrealistic expectation, but you do want to feel like you're a valued part of the team with an important role. And so look at that. Talk to people, get on the message boards. Now, not always can you rely on message boards for honest information, but you can see trends. So, right now, you can be selective as a potential employee. And so, I would encourage you as you're looking to find either that first job or the next job that you do look at benefits, pay, culture. Is this a place I would like to work long term, even if you may not work there long term? One of the other cool things about the chamber event with Johnny Taylor was the opportunity to network. And that's something, if I've spoken with your class, I've probably mentioned the importance of networking and building relationships. And it just so happened that I was sitting at a table with two of the sponsoring organizations of the event, Spirit Aerospace and Ascension Healthcare. I sat right next to the senior manager of HR for Spirit Aerospace, and we started talking about JAG-K and the need for workers at Spirit Aerospace, and that led to us being invited to an event they're having in December to connect students with Spirit Aerospace. And so, had I not attended this event, I would not have known about it. I wouldn't have met this gentleman from Spirit, and we would have missed out on opportunities. So, networking is important. Relationships matter, and if you'll learn a lot of things, but hopefully that will certainly be one of the things you take away from JAG-K. So, Johnny Taylor was awesome. Seeing students at I&I ceremonies, at the LDC, just visiting with them was great. So I'm glad things are kind of turning back to normal. If you have any questions for me about JAG-K, why we do the things we do, please don't hesitate to shoot me an email at chuck.knapp@jagkansas.org. I wanted to give you a brief update. We are changing the name of this program or video, whatever you want to call it, to Espresso Yourself with Chuck, but we're still working on the logo. We had middle school students put together some drafts, and now we are actually giving those ideas to a professional graphic artist, and we're going to see what we come up with based on the design ideas from our middle school students. That was all 8 of our middle school programs that gave input into that. So we appreciate that. It was Westridge Middle School that started that process. They're the ones that came up with the idea for Espresso Yourself with Chuck. I'm glad that they took the lead on that, and we were going to have a great logo, and hopefully before the end of the year we will have our first Espresso Yourself with Chuck program. As always, thank you for being part of the JAG-K family. We appreciate you. We appreciate your specialists. And until next time, enjoy your coffee.